Somebody asked me a really good question in the comment section of one of my other videos. They wanted to know what types of things to put into a care package for a deployed troop. And a lot of people get really stumped on this, so I'm going to answer that question. I'll start by telling you what deployed troops generally have access to in terms of food and snacks, and then I'll tell you some things that you probably should not put into a care package just for practical purposes, and then I'll give you some suggestions on snacks that do actually go really well in care packages. So here it is. First, what do most deployed troops have access to already? And I say most just because some locations may be more remote and therefore might not be typical just because of their location, but generally this is how it goes. On the installation, there's going to be a dining facility or a DFAC or a chow hall, and in the DFAC, they're going to serve 3 hot meals per day. But even when they're not serving those 3 meals per day, the DFAC is still going to be open 24/7, and people will be able to come in and make themselves cold cut sandwiches. They'll have access to fruits and a salad bar. They'll have access to health bars, so think maybe like Nutri-Grain bars or those Nature Valley bars or Pop-Tarts, stuff like that. They'll have access to snacks like cookies and ice cream and pies and drinks like juices and milk and obviously water and soda. And when you're deployed, all of the food is free for deployed troops. So when you're thinking about what to put into your care package, understand that your troop is not going to be hungry. So you're not going for meal replacement types of foods. Really, you're just going for comfort snacks. So think about things that they would like to eat maybe at the end of their day when they're just trying to wind down and they're sitting on their bed watching a movie, stuff like that. That's what you're going for. Foods that don't go well in care packages are snacks that melt. So think like chocolates. And the reason for that is that a lot of places where troops are deployed tend to be very hot climates. So maybe those Hershey bars that you're thinking about putting into your care package, understand that by the time they finally make it to your troop, they're probably going to be melted. So steer clear of those. In fact, during World War II, M&Ms were sold exclusively to military members because they were designed to melt in your mouth and not in your hand. So they were included as a part of military members' food rations. Also, if the snack that you're thinking about requires some sort of appliance to prepare, those can also be tough. So if the snack that you're thinking about requires a microwave to prepare, your troop may not have access to that, so don't put that snack in there. If it requires an oven to prepare, your troop will not have access to that, so don't put that snack in there. What goes great in care packages? Honestly, the snack that became my go-to snack was sunflower seeds, which is strange because before I deployed, I probably never would have imagined that for myself, just because I hadn't eaten sunflower seeds since I was maybe like 12. But the paralegal that I was deployed with, she got a care package and it had a giant bag of sunflower seeds in there, and she was like, I'm probably never gonna eat these. And so I was like, all right, fine, then I'll take them. And it almost became like an anxiety reliever or a coping mechanism for me because it gave me something to constantly work at to try to crack those seeds open. But the caloric intake for each of those seeds was so low because you're basically just eating bird food that there was no shame or guilt in me eating these seeds throughout the day. So that became my thing. And after like 3 months of it, this is what I had done. And this is gross, I'm aware, but I'm also kind of a jerk when it comes to practical jokes. And so when one of my friends was redeploying back home, I was going to stick all of these empty bottles of my shell casings all throughout her stuff, just in random places. And that's nasty, but I don't care. Anyway, other things, gummy snacks, Starburst, Skittles, and yes, Skittles melt, but you can still pull them apart, so it's not that big of a deal. Beef jerky, that's another really good one. Oreos, those are also usually always a hit, but not just like the standard flavor Oreos, because your troop is probably gonna have access to those. But if you can find the different flavor Oreos, like the dark chocolate Oreos or whatever else type of flavor that you think sounds good, those are probably gonna be a hit. Another thing that's pretty stereotypical of deployments is that people usually end up getting a lot more into fitness, and that's just because you're stuck on base and there's not all that much to do to pass time. So people tend to spend a lot more time in the gym, lifting weights or doing cardio. So like for me, I ended up running a lot more than I typically do. So I would run at least one 5K a week, but I would usually do a lot more than just a 5K. I even ended up running the Air Force Marathon when I was gone. But I would also be in the gym lifting weights a lot, despite my scrawny arms, which are deceiving of my actual strength. So protein bars and other healthy snacks usually tend to be a hit. Also, we tend to drink a lot of water when we're deployed, so those water flavors that you can put into your water bottle, like Mio or other brands make them as well. Those can be pretty good too, just to mix it up a little bit instead of just drinking plain water every day. Short and sweet, but if you found this helpful, please make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons down below. And if you have other questions like this, then please feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I'll do what I can to answer whatever I can. As always, I do appreciate your time. I thank you for being here, and I'll see you.